Hello and welcome to this episode of Memecast. It's going to be a solo episode, so just me talking today, and we're going to do something a little bit different, something a little bit more serious, but I think it's still something important that we can talk about. So we're just going to do a topic today about privacy on Memedroid and spreading awareness about different things. Recently, I'd say in the past year or so, we've had a lot of new members. A lot of them are younger, pre-high school even. I've seen quite a few members, and one thing I've noticed about a few of them is that they're very open about private information and who they are and different things about them that might not need to be shared online. So recently, over this past week, I received some screenshots of a Memedroider talking to another Memedroider who is 14 years old, as you'll see. The user is Raltizol90, quite a few points. Looks like he's probably been here a while. And I will let you know that, and just for a disclaimer, I'll let you know that the content in these messages contain serious subjects, and if you don't want to see them, then I suggest not watching the video. But here is the first set of screenshots. So obviously the ages here are said. The individual is definitely underage, and I'll let you guys kind of read some of the messages. It's not good stuff. And the other individual is 23, or so he says. So this is not the type of conversation you should be having with an underage individual. And I'm assuming he did not expect other people to find out about this, otherwise I doubt he would have sent what he said. Here are the second set of images. And this is basically illegal activity that if there was personal information tied to his account, he could go to jail for this, or illegally sexting a minor. So very serious. We tried to get these through mod yesterday, and we had the Inquisition and the Telegram group working on it, but it wasn't enough. I think it was pretty close, but it didn't get through. So I wanted to show them today and just let you guys know that these people are on the app, and they might not talk much, but they're there, and if you aren't careful, they can use information they find about you against you. So I know maybe your parents or different people have said never share information, and I think it's somewhat of a balance because I've shared some stuff on Memedroid, but it's always with the awareness that I know that anything I share is on the internet permanently, and I cannot take anything I say back. And because of that, there's some things I don't share, but it's always something that you have to be aware of when you are talking anonymously. So that's not fun stuff to see in our community, and I'm hoping that we can kind of rally against this individual. I doubt he's going to be making much of an appearance lately in the comments section or elsewhere, but to the young people that have just joined the app or have been here a couple months, there's a reason why it's important to make sure you're safe on the internet, because this person, you might not have seen him before, but he sees the comments that you post, and especially for female members, the community has a male majority. There's a lot more challenges you have to face, even if it's just passive-aggressive people or as excessive as full-blown pedophilia. And I have another individual to put on the spotlight here. This is not an example of pedophilia, but it is an example of harassment. And you might say that there's no actual harm being done, but whether you believe it or not, the things that you write in comments or on the internet actually does influence people and impact them and how they think about themselves or how they view the world. So this is another individual who's more well-known, I would say. And we compiled these a couple months ago and tried to get it through moderation, but it did not work. And just saying that this is not, I would say, as extensive as the first individual's text that I showed, but it's still, I don't think it's beneficial to the community. I think it does a lot of damage. And there's a certain amount of hostility that can be expected with a bunch of lonely and depressed people on the internet, but at some point it crosses a line, and I think right here, all of these titles that he has for memes are definitely an example of when it crosses the line, and it's no longer a meme, no longer funny. It's just straight up harassment. Sometimes within communities, you have to deal with more difficult situations, and I think that's one of these. But hopefully, people watching this, especially if you're on the younger side, you can hopefully learn about why not to be too open. A little bit's okay, but it's something you have to be aware of, because there are people on the internet and specifically on this app that are just waiting for the opportunity to see an impressionable young person and be a predator. This is not going to be a longer episode. That's about all I had to say, but hopefully it's informative. Hopefully we can be on the lookout for instances that are serious enough that we can call out when needed. My goal is to not start a witch hunt or anything and have accusations flying all over the place, but I think that we can agree that this type of stuff is not what we want, or not what we want to be known for. So that's all I have. Appreciate you guys watching this video. There are people in this app that I definitely respect and I trust them, so if there's something that you don't feel comfortable with, talk to me or another member, because the last thing I want to see is somebody leave the app or have information about them discovered and they receive threats or intimidation tactics directed towards them specifically. That's not something that's fun or ever desired. So, gonna wrap this up. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this. Please be aware of the people you're talking to. You have no idea who is behind the screen on the other side. So always have that in the back of your mind when you're on the app commenting on stuff. Just keep it in mind. Stay safe. Don't do anything stupid. And thank you to the individual who created those screenshots. I doubt it was a fun situation, but I think they did the right things. And we can talk about it now because we are able to shed some light onto the situation and some stuff that goes on in the app that we don't normally know about. So again, thank you for watching. A Blue Hero and I are talking about starting meme casts with guests from the community, talking about whatever. So if you're interested in that, we're going to put together a list of people we'd like to interview. If that's not something you're comfortable with, then we understand it's kind of definitely a risk to put yourself out there. But yeah, so we're going to keep working on the meme cast. We've had a lot of good feedback, which we really appreciate. So yeah, stay safe and